What's good with y'all? What's good? What's good? With y'all, what's good? What's good? We tuning in for another video. We got another informative video on the way. Let me bring y'all up, man. We got another informative video on the way, man. We inside the shop, of course, and I figured this is a perfect opportunity, and it happened to come back to back. Y'all know, last video we tested too small of a CFM carburetor, and you saw the results. It was just as expected, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm expecting with this one too. But too small of a carburetor, it was just expected. It's gonna decrease the power, no questions asked. No questions asked when you know it's too small. But that's a good example of you don't know what you're missing until you find it, because you know somebody been happy. I mean, the car, if that was your first carburetor you use, you're gonna be like, hey, the car making good power. And it still went in the 8s on some 26-inch wheels on a bare road, no burnout, nothing. So somebody been like, hey man, that's pretty good, but not knowing how much you're shortchanging yourself. So, but I get it. That's why I like doing these type of videos, so people don't go spend money on a whim, or I can put guide you in the right direction on picking the right CFM carburetor. But then you go from there. If you want to get maximum power, that's where you go to fine tuning your air bleeds, your idle feed restrictions. It's a number of things you can do. Your booster signals and stuff. You can change boosters and stuff, higher speed boosters. It's just different things you can do to these things, make them a little better. But and power valve tuning in itself is a whole nother ball game. A lot of people go straight to the jets, but jets is the last place you usually go, be real with you. But now I have a customer came in. I've done a carburetor for him. He done had about 2 or 3 over here. But he has a mean car collection. I might see if I can get with him, and cause I know we pretty cool, man. I'll see if I can get with him and show y'all some of his cars if he don't mind. He got a nice car collection, man. Some very nice rides. And this one of the carburetors off one of his cars, and he brought it in. It's a Proform 950, but it's been bored. The throttle board been widened, and it been polished and stuff. So it really flows like he's 1060 CFM. I forgot who he said built it. It's a card builder, not a reputable card builder, but it flows 1060 CFM. I guess it was bench tested. But he brought it in maybe last month, and he had a leaking accelerator pump. So what he did, had new pumps, and he put them on, and it developed a stumble, and it was, and some more stuff. So he brought it by. And he had a few things wrong, man. Me and him be laughing about this, but he had a few things wrong. So I didn't open the carburetor up because he said it was a great working carburetor. I didn't open it. I didn't take the bowls off. I didn't even check the idle mixture. I didn't do nothing. I literally just changed the pump covers because he had the 50. He had put the 50 pump in the 30 with the 30 spring, and had the 30 spring arm on it. It was some more stuff. It was just crossed up all. So I fixed that and re-clearanced the pumps, and that was it. I put it on wifey car, ran it. It hit, bow, bow. I said, all right. I ain't checked nothing else. I ain't road tested nothing, cause it He said it was good. So I get 3 weeks go by, and he said, Jay, man, this thing is running crazy, part throttle and all that. I'm like, that shouldn't happen with no pump clearance. So I said, bring it by. So I'm just now getting it, and I put it on my car. So what we gonna do is road test it, and we going to this is it right here. So we're gonna road test it, and we're gonna take this opportunity to see what happens when you run too big of a card on your car. So this is like a 1060 CFM, or you can say a 950 for simplicity. And we're gonna see how it runs. Now I'm telling you what I'm expecting, and the way he described. The way he described it is it got big jets, so it could be ran squared like a Dominator, which Dominators don't have a power valve because they got such big jets in them. They use 92, 94 jets. Unless you run an alcohol at E85, you start getting up in the hundreds. But the thing probably got 90-something jets in it. 90-something jets running square, it's gonna run rich. It just, like you run a Dominator on the street, all my guys that ran Dominators on the street or run Dominators on the street, they'll tell you when you drive, it's gonna say poo 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 poo. It's gonna want to load up, but when you put your foot in it, that baby gonna go. It's gonna be spot on. It's gonna go. Because a Dominator is set up to run wide open throttle. That's what they set up for. Unless you got a 750 Dominator or something, which they don't make those anymore. When you get your hands, I done had 2 of them, and as soon as I built them, they sold ASAP. So they don't sit long. If I get the 750 Dominators, they don't sit long. It's a cool piece. But most Dominators don't have power valves in them. And if you're gonna run one on the street, get you a 3-circuit. 3-circuit is better for the street than a 2-circuit Dominator. But anyway, they're gonna run rich. They're gonna run rich. So by me not opening the carburetor up, I'm guessing it's probably set up like a Dominator. Because it was originally on one of his race engines. Now he's trying to run it on one of his street engines. So I'm like, hey, we might have to change some things up, but I know I'm gonna have to open it up. But so I'm expecting it to run rich at part throttle. I'm expecting it to run rich at part throttle. And with the pass we're gonna make, which like I said, wife ain't gonna be able to catch the outside views, but we'll have to drag it. I am expecting this to go faster and do better than the 750 did when we tested in the previous vlog. I'm expecting it to do better, run a better time, because it's gonna be able to keep up at that higher RPM. It's gonna be able to keep up with the airflow. But it's still not gonna do better than my 850. That's what I'm expecting, because it's too big. So this is a case where most people find themselves, they running too big of a carburetor. And they seeing the number, they feeling the power, and they like, man, this thing riding. But we finna see today, firsthand, how you still hurting yourself. So I am expecting this thing to go faster than that 899, which that 750 ran, which is too small. But so I am expecting it to go faster than that, but not faster than I done been on an 850. So with that being said, we finna hop in this thing and get this done before it get too dark and stuff. And I'm gonna back this thing out, and we're gonna make this hit and see what we get.
BCG fan, so immediately you can notice a different part throttle. I said to myself, this gonna run like a Dominator, which Dominators run rich, cause they want to be wide open. So if they run rich, that's why they bust up a little bit on the low throttle. See, look at that. They just want to go. They're just when you have too much jet and stuff. So.
All right, y'all, it's the next day, opening up the shop. Let's see Ting out there playing. She finna go fishing with her papa. But it's the next day, and y'all saw the results. I got to going, man. I got to going, and but I got to going, and I I didn't come out here and check in, cause like I said, it got dark and stuff. But I came to just put the car up and all that. But as y'all can see, let me see the car. Y'all done seen the time, but I have to look on the. I think it was an 856. What it ran? Let me see. Oh, y'all haven't seen, cause I ain't put the clip in there. Y'all saw the GoPro. Y'all saw the GoPro, but I think it ran a 856. I'm finna insert the clip. But yeah. All right. So look, what we're gonna do? I'm finna go ahead and throw that Dragon clip in, so y'all can check it out and see what it did. So y'all check that out right now. Okay, so as y'all can see, it went 856 and had a 233 60 foot. Now, that's a very good ticket. That's comparable to that 750. Now, if you go back to the other video, the 750 went an 899 and had a 2.39 60 foot. So the 60 foots are very similar, but the bigger carburetor went like 4/10 faster. Now, let's take that run, this run y'all just saw with the 1160, which is a 950 main body. Let's take that run, and then I'm gonna put up another run from the past where I had my 850 on, my properly sized 850, and I'm finna show y'all that right now. Alright, so as y'all can see, that's another old run from Dolo. A little faster than the one I showed y'all when I did the 750 versus 850 video, the previous vlog. So it went 8.30, and it had a 2.23 60 foot. Now this is a good true comparison, because remember I told y'all the rule. If you deduct 1/10 off of your 60 foot, it'll deduct 2/10 off of your ET in the 1/8 mile on your ticket. It works like clockwork. If you can lower your 60 foot ET, your 60 foot time by 1/10, you can lower your ET, your 1/8 mile ET by 2/10. So with the bigger carburetor, we had a 2.33 60 foot. With that run y'all just saw, we had a 2.23 60 foot, exactly a 1/10. Look at the difference. So the 2.33 with the too big of a carburetor was an 8.56. The 850 that stays on my car with a 2.23 60 foot went 830s. So let's take that rule and apply it to the ticket of the bigger carburetor. Now, if the bigger carburetor would have went the same 60 foot as the 850, which would be a 2.23, then that would make that time a 8.36. Close, but still not. That half of 10th is a big difference. A half of 10th is a gap. That's a gap on a racetrack. That's a lot. A full 10th in a ticket, if somebody runs a 8.30 versus a 8.20, is a humongous gap. It seems like a small number on a ticket, but it's a big number out there on the track. And when you're a second faster than somebody, it's nothing to see. Even a 10th really nothing to see. So a half a 10th is still a gap. It's not as bad as a gap as a 10th, but it's still a gap. So keep that in mind for people that's learning, that may say, well, they're close. The bigger carburetor would have ran a 8.36 versus 8.30. That 0.36 would have cost you the race, and it still was damn mile per hour too. See, the bigger carburetor it gave more mile per hour than the 750, which we might do a video comparing the two. I might put the clips together and talk about that, the 750 versus the 950. Cause right now this is the 950 or 1160 what it's been flowed, 1160 versus 850. But the bigger carburetor yielded 88 miles per hour in the 850 went 91 miles per hour. So it was down to mile per hour. And that's why I say combinations is everything. Combinations is everything. And I test data. I test real world data myself. I go out there, how it gonna apply to the drag strip. And it won't be no different on the drag strip. It's just I'm testing on a bare road, no burnout, cold tire on a big wheel. But it's gonna be the same. If you put a radio or slick on, one gonna yield better than the other. It's just whatever tire. Now, like I said, one gonna outperform the other. And as I said too, also the carburetor runs super rich on part throttle. You put your foot in it, it go. But part throttle, it running super rich. So I do got something I'm gonna check on here, cause I talked to him. I talked to him later that night, and he said he also messed with something with the power valve. I was like, brother, you gotta tell me the whole story. But so the power valve, it's probably giving it too much fuel too. It could be, and it could be square and jetted too high. But I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check it now. The item mixture was out of whack. Because when I put it on my car, I was like, whoa, what is going on? And I saw how far out the item mixture screws were. It was super rich. It was super rich. So I fixed that. I got it idling good. And matter of fact, before we close this out, let's see. This is a perfect time to see a cold start. This thing been sitting. Let me see. Cause I had to change the idle. So y'all see it cold too. Y'all know I wouldn't be grabbing all this if that joke was hot. But I'm curious to see how this idle. Super. Let's see. Let's see how that baby do. It was just my imagination running up. Let's see. Hold on, let me take that breather off. Nah, we won't take that breather. I already took it off. So, already not better than my 850. Too big though, but. My 850 crank up first try, stay running. That ain't bad though, let me see, it might stay running. Yeah. It's trying to catch up. It's trying to catch up. It's gonna cut off. So there's two. See, look at that, it flooded, too big. It's too big, it flooded. And I ain't patting the gas either. I ain't been patting the gas. Let's see if it's gonna run. Maybe it'll run on the third try. Yeah, it's picking up. Nope. Alright. So there's another thing too. People don't think matter. You run too big of a carburetor. Running the right side carburetor too also just help with startup. It helped with startup, man. I mean, you talking about booster signal and stuff, all that, the vacuum the engine make, pulling that fuel, to help that fuel atomize stuff too. All this stuff matter. But said I could get this thing to crank. You have to make adjustments. I just said the idle mixture was gonna be adequate for his car. On the properly sized engine, this thing can fire up and run, drop of the key like wow. But this too much. It's just too much. And that's how I spec my engines too. Like I spec this one. Everything matters. Everything got to be precise. I'm real precise when it comes to that. But the engine efficient. The engine in Dolo is super efficient. All the engines, Meach engine, everything's super efficient. And like the new combo with Meach, it's gonna be crazy. I already got it mapped out. It's gonna be crazy. Meach gonna be crazy. I'm serious. Keep keep in mind, if Meach made a little bit over 700 to the wheels on motor and 93 octane, now imagine what it's finna do on horsepower alone with the new combo. Finna be crazy. And yeah, man, so that's it. Another good test down in the books. Like I said, I hope this helps somebody out. Like this type of content I've been planning on doing, like I said, being more transparent. I know a lot of people get stuff from it. They can pick up a lot from it. And that's what I want to do at the end of the day. So yeah, that's gonna wrap this up, man. So appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all later. BCG, we out.